Welcome to the Musa video blog. So this has been an eventful week. A lot of different things, but one of the happier events was that I got a new internet provider and I upgraded my service, and now I have many more megabytes per second, download, upload, you name it across. So I thought I would talk about computers, and it reminded me that a number of months ago here at the shul we had a visitor from Israel, and he was a professor and a PhD, a psychologist, and his specialty was the psychology of the internet. And he spoke. He spoke on Shabbos at the shul, and personally I thought, what's he going to speak about? I thought he'd talk about things like if you go to certain websites, they're very detrimental to one's spiritual health. And besides that, they could affect us emotionally, and they could affect our relationships, and all kinds of terrible things like that. And you go to certain sites, and the porn sites, and all kinds of other really low, terrible places that we shouldn't see. That's what I thought he was going to talk about, but that's not what he talked about. He talked about a whole different thing. He spoke about the idea that many people fall into a false reality. They fall into an illusory reality, which is not a reality. They're living in this false world. That means you have someone like this, someone who in his own personal life, maybe he's not successful. Maybe his marriage isn't so great, his relationship with his family members isn't so great, at work, at this, all kinds of things. Maybe he's not such a nice person. Could be all a myriads of permutations of what's the issues are in his life. And then he goes on to cyberspace. He goes on to some place where he communicates with others, whatever they are, the many different possibilities. And there he has his cyberspace personality, a certain persona that he wants to project. He gets just the right picture, and he communicates in whichever way he feels he wants to project himself to others. And he has his friends, and he's living in this complete oasis of non-reality. And he finds his comfort and solace in that. And then he comes back into the real world, and even though in his real world he may feel that life sucks, people may say he's such a rotten guy, whatever it is, and he doesn't have to face up to any of that stuff, because he's got his little dream world that's tucked away on his computer screen, and he just types in and communicates via that medium and lives this fantasy and gets some sort of fulfillment. And that's not good, because that's not what God wants us. God wants us to live real-time life. He wants us to be good people in what we're doing in the real world, not in some imaginary world. It's easy to respond to some statement if you're doing it over the computer. But when someone's in front of you and saying something, and it may be confrontational or whatever, or something happens, and then you react in a negative way, that's something that takes work, that takes effort. So really this I call it Cyberspace Illusions, is the antithesis of what Musar is about. Musar is looking inside myself, taking stock of the reality. What am I doing with my life? How do I act towards people? What's my relationship with God? Don't fool myself. Don't say, well, just because there's people out there in cyberspace that like me, I have all those friends, look at all the likes I got on that. No. Let's turn inward. Let's do some introspection. Let's be honest. Let's be frank. Let's be real. And then let's take the bull by the horns and let's work on it. So that's a terrible danger. It robs us of our whole raison d'etre. The whole purpose of why we're put in this world could be expressed in one way as to improve ourselves, to make ourselves into better people. Like we've mentioned many times before, to strive for holiness. That's what it's all about. And the cyberspace illusions just create a false reality, take us away from that true purpose of what we're supposed to be doing in this world. See you next time.